This is 7.4 lesson 1, and for this lesson we are going to find the volume of cones and pyramids. Okay, so what is volume? Volume is the amount of substance that can fit inside of a 3D object. Okay, so this says, think about the shapes that you've learned about previously. Okay, to find the volume of a cylinder or prism, find the number of cubes that fit in the area of the base, and then multiply the layers of the height. So last year you all learned how to find the volume of a cylinder. To find the volume of a cylinder, you found the area of your base and you multiplied it by your height. Okay, same thing for a rectangular prism, okay, or a cube. You find the area of your base and you multiply by a height. Now, since you're not here in class, I would recommend watching this video right here. Okay, you can put in the link or you can get it from Canvas, but it shows how we go from a cylinder to a cone formula. Okay, so a cone is 1/3 the size of a cylinder. Okay, so one cylinder would equal 3 cones, and those cylinder and cones would have to have the same size circle and the same height. And if that happens, then our cones are 1/3 the size of our cylinder. Pyramids are the same way. If a pyramid has the same base as a rectangular prism and it has the same height, then one pyramid is 1/3 the size of a rectangular prism. So what that means to find the volume for both of these is that we are going to take 1/3 times the area of our base times our height. Okay, this formula is actually found on your formula sheet. It is right here for volume of a cone and a pyramid, and it says 1/3 equals, but I want you to notice this is a capital B. Okay, base times height, and it says capital B is the area of the base. So our capital B is not just going to be one letter. We're going to kind of actually substitute in a formula for that capital B. Okay, so that's what we need to be careful of. So let's start with letter A. Letter A is a cone, and again our formula is volume equals 1/3 area of our base times our height. Okay, well, our base is a circle, so to find the area of a circle we use our formula sheet, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So rather than writing B, we are going to replace that with pi r squared, and the rest of our formula stays the same. Okay, so now we can start filling things in. We have 1/3 pi. The radius of our circle is our distance from the center to the outside, is 2. So we have times 2 squared times the height of the entire cone, which is 8. Okay, so we're going to start simplifying. 2 squared is 4, so we have 1/3 pi times 4 times 8. Now we can go ahead and multiply our regular numbers together. We can do 1/3 times 4 times 8. And that gives us 10 2/3, but we still have a pi behind it. Now if we want an exact answer, we're going to leave it as 10 2/3 pi inches cubed. Okay, volume is inches cubed. So this is our exact answer. Now if we want to approximate our answer, we're going to go ahead and do 10 2/3 times 3.14. Okay, 3.14 is an approximation of pi. It is not exactly pi. So that's why this is an approximation of an answer. Okay, and that's going to give us about 33.5 inches cubed. Okay, so for every one of these problems, we're going to do an exact answer and then an approximated answer. Okay, so letter B is again a cone. So again, we start with our formula, V equals 1/3 area of the base times height. Again, with a cone, our base is a circle, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. But then the rest of our formula stays the same. So we have 1/3 pi times our radius. Well, I give us a diameter. I give us all the way across is 13. Well, radius is only half of that. So we would need to do 13 divided by 2 to get a radius of 6.5. So this is 6.5 squared times a height of 9 inches. So we can go ahead and do 1/3 times 6.5 squared times 9. 6.5 squared is 42.25. So if you wanted to rewrite that step, you could. So we're going to multiply that by 9 and by 1/3. And we're going to get 126.75 pi. So this is our exact answer. Okay, and then again, we need to make sure we have units. Our units are inches, and since this is volume, it is cubed. An approximate answer, okay, we would do 126.75 times 3.14. And that's 397, actually it rounds to 398 inches cubed. So this is our approximate. Okay, usually we want to keep things in exact. Okay, so if I don't specify, I want an exact answer. Okay, but I might sometimes say in the directions to approximate for pi and get an approximate answer. Okay, so just be careful of that. Letter C, again we have a cone, so volume equals 1/3 area of the base times height, where again our base is a circle, so we fill that in with pi r squared. The rest of our formula stays the same, and we fill our numbers in. So we have 1/3 pi, our radius is 50, so we have 50 squared. Okay, now this one, we have an additional step. We see that 120 is not the height of our cone. The height of our cone should have been right here. Okay? We don't know that number, but I want you guys to notice that I can actually create a right triangle. Okay, even though it's an upside down right triangle, it still works. So in order to find our missing side, we again have to use Pythagorean theorem. The side across from our right angle is C, so we can say this is A and this is B, and we need to solve for B. So we're going to have 50 squared plus B squared equals 120 squared. 50 squared is 2,500 plus B squared equals 120 squared is 14,400. We subtract 2,500 on both sides. To get B squared equals 11,900. We square root that, and B is going to be approximately 109. Okay, so B is 109, and that now tells us the height of our pyramid. So we need to do our exponent first. 50 squared we know is 2,500 times 109. We can multiply our regular numbers. We have 1/3 times 2,500 times 109 is going to give us, let's see here, 90,833 and 1/3 pi centimeters cubed. So there is our final exact answer. Okay, so letter D, we're going to switch to pyramids. So again, with pyramids, we start with the same formula. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times height. However, our base this time is a square. And the formula for the area of a square is s squared. So we're going to replace area of base with s squared. The rest of our formula stays the same. So we're going to have 1/3. Our side of our square is 16 squared times our height, and it's the height of the pyramid. Don't confuse it with height of triangle when we did surface area. This is height of pyramid, which is going to be 15. Okay, so this one, we're not going to deal with pi. So it makes things a little bit easier for us. So we have 1/3 times 256 times 15. And when we multiply those out, we get 1,280 inches cubed. Letter E, we start with our formula. Volume is 1/3 area of the base times height. This time our base is a rectangle. Formula for area of a rectangle is length times width. We still have our h and our 1/3. So we fill in our numbers. So we have 1/3. We have the length of our base is 6. The width of our base is 4. And the height of the whole pyramid is 8. We can multiply all those together and get 64. We do not know our units, so we're going to write units cubed. Letter F is a square base. So we still have our volume 1/3 equals area of the base times height, where our base is a square, so we're going to say this is S squared. We have 1/3 with our height. So we're going to have 1/3 times 14 squared times 24. 14 squared is 196. We multiply all these together, we get 1,568. Again, we don't know our units, so we're going to put units cubed. Okay, letter G is a little bit different because I want you to notice that we have a triangular base this time. So we have 1/3 area of the base times height. Okay, so our base this time, since it is a triangle, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height of the triangle. Then our purple H represents the height of the pyramid, and we still have a 1/3 in front. So this one, we have a lot of parts to it. So we're going to have 1/3 times 1/2 times, and our base down here is a triangle. It's our orange parts. Okay, so the base is 8, the height is 14, and then the height of our entire pyramid is 17. Okay, so we need to multiply all these together. And this is going to give us a volume of 317 1/3 units cubed. Letter H, again, is a pyramid. Volume equals 1/3 area of the base times height. So this is going to be 1/3. Now our base this time is a square again. So we have S squared times our height. So it's 1/3 times 10 squared times 13. So 1/3 times 10 squared times 13 is going to give us 433 1/3 units cubed.